of the San Francisco Creek Joint Powers Authority. And today is March 25th, it's about 3:30. And if we could have roll call, please.
Director Abrika,
Here.
Director Combs,
Here.
Director Burt,
Here.
Director Kremen,
Here.
and Director Pine has not arrived yet.
Okay.
But I see
Oh,
he's
he is coming on right now. Director Pine?
Yes, hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay. All right. So we're all here and welcome everybody. And we'll go ahead and get started with approval of the agenda. If anybody wish to make a motion on that. Or any.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor, we'll do roll call. Yes.
Director Abrika,
Yes.
Director Combs,
Yes.
Director Burt,
Yes.
Director Kremen,
Yes.
Director Pine.
Yes,
Okay. Then we'll go on to approving the minutes of last meeting, February 25th. Are there any comments or changes? And if not, I'll entertain a motion also for that before we go to public.
So moved.
All right. All right, Pat, moving up, I'll second. And all those in favor?
Roll call
Aye.
vote.
Aye.
Roll call.
Director Abrika,
Yes.
Director Combs,
Yes.
Director Burt,
Yes.
Director Kremen,
Yes.
Director Pine.
yes,
Okay, motion carried. Next item, number 4 is public comment. So an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board on any issues, any topics that are not on the agenda. And do we have any requests, Miko? At
I
this
have
time?
not received any requests. I don't see any hands raised.
Any, don't see any. Okay, well then, we'll go ahead with our regular business and our executive director, Margaret Bruce, will lead us in that. And welcome back, Ms. Bruce, from your family trips.
okay. Thank you. And thank you everyone for your patience with me. That was a long time away and it was a good thing to have done. I wish it was for a happier occasion, but I'm very glad to be back now. So this month's director's report is going to be fairly short and we'll get right to it here. So we've been through those. So project updates. There's no update right now on the upstream project cost estimate. We continue to work with our city members and we are going to be presenting the project to the City of Menlo Park's Planning Commission and to East Palo Alto's later on in April. April 12th will be in in Menlo Park, and East Palo Alto's on the 21st of April. We have recently begun exploring the possibility of incorporating the Newell Bridge project into our SFCJPA environmental permit applications. We will keep you posted when there is a decision about how that conversation culminates. The purpose of the exploration is to see if there are efficiencies for both the city and for the JPA to proceed with environmental permitting by using the same permit engineer, a lot of the same analysis, basically streamlining each of our respective permit applications, saving us time, money, and some perhaps bureaucratic relationship streamlining as well will help us. Let's see, Reach 3, an update there is that we had our first field visit on March 5th. That went very well. Kevin tells me that the Woodard and Curran and archaeological consultants were in company with the team from Stanford University. The outcome of that very convivial field visit was identifying some additional information resources that we're requesting Stanford, and those conversations are progressing apace. Everything is going smoothly at this point. We think that the project is completely on track. On the 3rd of March, we hosted a tour of the Safer Bay project for Vice Mayor Taylor of Menlo Park. And a long-awaited grant amendment came through in early March as well and was fully executed on the 18th of March. So that means that we are looking at some of the DWR grant funding coming in as well. So we can continue some of our safer work when that arrives. The biggest events for this month were two projects, public outreach project update meetings. The first one on the 23rd of February, the second on March 3rd. The first one focused on a general update of what the project is, why we're doing it, where we are in the process. The outreach was, people were invited to the two briefings, first by a postcard that went out to about 4,700 addresses in the project area. There were additional emails that went out to our established email list, and there were other courtesy forwards through various neighborhood groups, people sending to their neighbors, to their neighborhood associations, etc. I think there was also some secondary or courtesy postings, comments to LinkedIn and Facebook and Nextdoor. So there were some additional courtesy forwards that helped us raise the profile of these events. We had more than 150 RSVPs for each of the events. The first one was attended by a peak of 87 people, and the second was for 100 people. The second event focused on trees, because we understand that there are many communities in Menlo Park, many community members, particularly in Menlo Park, who were very interested in what is happening with the trees, with respect to the channel widening work, with respect to Newell Bridge. So we focused on that in the second workshop. There were recordings made of both. There are written responses to all questions that were received. Both recordings and the written responses to questions have been posted on the website under our events tab. We had some very positive feedback. Most people thought it was highly informative. The nature of the questions was also, I think, questions and comments was indicative of overall support, even at the same time that there are people who are concerned about the impacts to their neighborhood. What is the aesthetic going to be like? How will traffic impact their lives? What will the noise be like? How long will it take? Why is it taking so long? Some of the same questions that I think we've all anticipated and have seen in past events. So nothing out of the ordinary, nothing unexpected came from these workshops. It was I think a positive confirmation that there's a rather large number of people who are now increasingly aware of the JPA, the reason for the JPA's work, and the positive outcomes that our work will have for them with regard to flood protection. We'll plan on doing another set of community outreach events like this, perhaps in about 6 months, or when the team has decided that there has been enough progress made in our project planning so that we have a more complete story to tell. We're not just rehashing the same information. And that would be the conclusion of my staff report, unless
Okay.
you have any questions.
Yeah, well, thanks for the report, and we'll take some questions or any questions or comments from board members, and then I see if any public members want to comment or ask questions. Anybody have any questions at this point? No? Okay, not seeing any right away. Do we have any requests from the public to speak on this?
I have not received any, and I do not see any hands raised.
Okay.
Miko?
Oh, wait, hold on. Someone's
Just put
waving.
my hand. Last minute. Thank you very
Oh, there's
much.
somebody.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go. Jerry
Go-
Hearn.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead. Sure.
Great. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Margaret, I want to comment on your the community meetings. I only attended one. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the other one. And I thought it was very well done. It's a really difficult way to try to have a question and answer session. And I thought Tess and Kevin and you really did a great job of sorting through and asking and giving adequate answers. You know, there just isn't enough room to really amplify. So I really appreciate you going to all that effort. And also, I think the idea of holding some in the future is a great idea, because there will be more questions. Hopefully those will be in person, which is a much better way of doing it all. I had a question about your report, your written report. There was one sentence or one thing in there in that very first part where you're talking about the trees and upstream project. I don't know, maybe there was some confusion in here. The section that reads about the canopy replacement determination and additional trees to be removed is harder than simply, it's the last sentence in the first paragraph. I didn't quite understand what that what you were trying to say there.
Okay. I'm happy to follow up with you now, because I'm sure that if you have a question about it, others may as well. I would like to ask Tess to respond to that, since she has been working closely with all 3 cities for compliance with their heritage tree and canopy ordinances.
Yeah.
So I think she can help explain that better.
Yep, sure. Thank you. So the whole reason for that statement is, when I was talking to our arborist, I said, well, I'm really trying to get these trees, a few more trees into it. And I said, what is the easiest thing for you? She said, frankly, it's just easier for me, if I'm doing all my canopy calculations, to have
Right.
to put a tree that was previously planned to be removed, just retain that tree, rather than trying to add in another tree to be removed. So that's why I'm moving forward with a list that we reached just about right before the tree meeting. And that's the list that I'm moving forward with, all the permit applications with the cities.
Okay, now I understand what you're trying to say. And yeah, it was just kind of confusing to me. Maybe it was just my reading of it, but that makes a lot of sense. So, and just an added comment around the trees is, I now have fielded several emails by people who are saying, oh, they're going to take out 250 trees, and I corrected it. So apparently that message did not get across, that you're really doing a lot of work to try to get it. So that should be emphasized, and I'm emphasizing it from my point of view. And I actually asked Kevin how many we were down to, and he told me like 158 or something like that. And so I used that number, which looks a lot better than 220 or whatever. So, just to let you know that that's what's kind of running around, is people still have that concern, and they're inaccurate in where you are in the process.
Mhm.
And my last comment has to do with the idea of combining the 2 projects, the Newell Road and the Pope Chaucer, which on the surface is a great idea. It makes a lot of sense, and it could make the life a lot easier, because then the agencies would be treating it as a more watershed approach, which of course is what we want to do. We always want to do that. My concern with it is, I'm not that conversant about all the funding, but my worry is that if you do combine them, then a hang up on one of the issues could hang up the permitting on another one, that could impact the funding scenarios and timelines and things like that. So I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything like that. It's just something that popped into my mind, and I hope you're considering all those kind of things as you go in and try to figure this out. I'm hoping that it works out, of course, that it's a watershed approach. Everything goes perfectly smoothly. All the agencies say, we've done a wonderful job, and people start throwing money at us. Right? Good.
I hope you hold that thought, because that's our hope as well.
Good.
Of course, we're asking all of those questions. We don't want to do a good thing only to have it backfire and it actually not be as efficient or as helpful as we hope
Right.
or would like it to be. So yes, we're carefully considering all of those questions. Is this going to compromise us for funding? Is this going to
Yes.
slow us down in a way that would not work? Are Palo Alto's, our projects in a commensurate location or commensurate progress so that
Right.
we can actually bundle this efficiently? And, we're asking all of those questions. So this
Okay.
is an exploration. If the only thing that comes out of this is that we have the pleasure of, a collegial collaboration with our great partner colleagues in Palo Alto, that's good too.
Yeah.
But ideally something good will come out of this to help the project move along with speed, with efficiency, and without compromising anything else.
Great. Thank you very much for that opportunity and for your answers.
Okay, thank you. Any other requests from the public? Nico, do we see any? Or
I'm not seeing any other requests. at this
okay,
time.
all right. Seeing none, then we'll move on to item 6, which is board member comments, information items, requests, announcements. So if I may, I want to start with a couple of things. One is, turns out that this year is the 5th year anniversary of one of our staff members, Tess Byler, the senior project manager. So definitely want to thank you very much for all your work and all your, I think, professionalism and keeping on top of very technical issues and helping us to keep moving along. So yes, thank you very much. And open it up for any board members or anyone to add any comments on that. Anybody else?
Thank you very much.
Or- Okay, well, Tess, you want to tell us anything, maybe an observation on what you see?
Jerry has a comment, Jerry Hearn.
Or Jerry, okay. Fine. Yeah, Jerry.
Sorry to jump in there again.
No, that's
Hey.
fine.
Tess, you know how much I enjoy working with you, and it's just been fabulous having you on board, and all the skills you bring, all your interactions with people are just wonderful, and your professionalism, like Ruben spoke about. But I can remember you and Trish and I sitting at a table for breakfast one morning, and you talking about what's my future going to be, and here you are, and I'm really happy you're here.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
Well, a complete surprise. I barely knew that I've been here 5 years. It's-
Yeah,
And I'm now that Margaret's here, I'm no longer the newcomer.
there you go.
Okay, all right,
So thank you for the recognition.
yes, thank you.
I would just like to add that I have the pleasure of working with Tess almost daily, and she's been such a fantastic addition to the team and really filled in from an experience and technical knowledge standpoint where, pieces that we were missing, and really completed the team and helped us get through construction in the downstream project and really advance all of our other projects. So really grateful to have her on board.
Mhm,
Thank you, Kevin.
okay.
Ditto. Thank you, Tess. We appreciate all of your hard work.
Thank you, Miko.
Okay, well said. So the next item, and then obviously I'll open it up for any other board member for any other items. But at the last meeting, I proposed to the board that we consider doing I call it strategic, planning session. I think, board member Pat mentioned like a retreat, and we really basically agree whatever we call it. And people did seem to be interested in doing that. I don't have any particular thing in mind other than a feeling. One, I think we haven't done that in a while, and I think it would be good just to regroup as a board and our staff, our director, and also offer an opportunity for the public to kind of focus our strategy on things that are coming up, and also just finishing some sort of unfinished business that are, I think, dealing with our mission and our sort of foundational purpose. And so I think the other thing that came up was I think people thought doing it on a Saturday would be better rather than trying to add it to a regular meeting. So, if in a minute or two we could land on a day, that would be good. If not, we can ask Margaret to do a poll. But there's no particular hurry. But I think the sooner we do it, the better. So I was thinking maybe May, the first, second week in May. Would that be? Or yeah, any board members, any comments on that on a particular date? Which is May 1st, May 8th, May 15th. Any thoughts on that or any?
For me, either the 1st or the 15th, I think would be preferable, not the 8th.
Okay, 1st and 15th. Anybody else have any?
Those 2 days work for me.
Okay. Yeah, they work for me too.
First is the best for me. I guess I can do the others. It's going to be more challenging.
Mhm. Okay. And Drew, any?
Either date works for me.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. You say do
Yeah, both dates work for me.
both work? Okay. Well, maybe we could shoot for the 1st, and it gives enough time to do a little bit of planning, and I think that's something maybe the vice chair and I could work with our executive director to plan it a little bit. And how about the time? Yeah, so the time maybe like 9 to 12 and have lunch on our own, I guess.
It'll still be virtual, I think.
Yeah, everything virtual, yeah.
We
Yeah,
can plan ahead for morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
9 to 12 or something
Yeah.
like that. It seems like that's what we did previously.
yeah, previously I think we had, that's a good block of time. We finish early, but maybe leave 9 to 12, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I think we'll say we'll do some more work on that. And, but also now I want to offer an opportunity for any board member for anything else, announcements or comments, anything, want to let us know. And if not, the next part of our meeting would be a closed session. And so we're just continuing where we left up last time. And so I think just for logistics, Miko, you put us in a room. Is that how it works? You put us in a
Yes.
closed session room?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So I think we're going to start only with the board members, but I will text our executive director. I'll send a text as soon as we're ready for her to come into the meeting, and then we'll continue that. Will that work?
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we, public comment on,
And then
closed
also,
session?
yeah, I want to ask if there are any members of the public on the closed session public employee performance evaluation.
I'm not seeing
Any-
any,
No? Okay.
no.
All right. Okay, well then, yeah, if you could put us into the closed session meeting, that would be great.
Okay, just a
Thank
moment.
you. Okay, so I think we are back, David, and, oh, I think everybody's here, right? So, yeah. David and, yeah. Anyway, we have a quorum, I think. All right, so I want to return to open session and just report that we did have a closed session part, but there is no reportable action. Okay, thank you. And so that concludes our meeting for today, and have a good weekend. We'll be back next month. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nico.